This week on the 77% Street Debate.
The dates are endless.
Oh.
The dates are endless.
Yeah.
They're always endless.
I mean, we should not avoid any cost.
They will come to eat their money, and if they've contributed 100,000 and they come, the food is not good, they will complain forever.
They're going to be into the committee to make sure that the money is finished.
Sometimes I contribute, but I go there really, really angry. Like, why do I have to pay for your happiness?
How much should one spend on a wedding? Well, here in Tanzania, the answer could be as much as it takes. And the cost of that could be super high, including costing people their marriages and their lives. But why is it that in this particular country, it seems that it is debt that is holding people together? We're going to find out from my lovely panel here. And we'll begin with Noel, who actually, you got married 2 months ago. So how high is the cost of weddings in this country?
The average cost I don't know, because everybody maybe have its own budget. But my own marriage costs almost $15,000. Yes, almost.
$15,000. Okay, I'm not married, and I've never obviously been to my wedding, but is this the average cost of weddings? $15,000? What? No, go on.
Yeah, it's not the average, it's not the minimum, it's not the maximum, because at the rate of which marriages, I mean, the ceremonies right now, it could go even twice or thrice or even 4 times that for just to pay for a venue.
What?
Yeah.
Just the venue. Okay, so Golden Godfrey is actually an events organizer dealing a lot with weddings. So these are hard figures that you can give us.
Yeah.
Okay, there's a lady who had lifted her hand at the back. Please come and speak to me.
Okay, good evening. I'm Beatrice. Well, I can be like a good example because from September, I had my bro's wedding. It costed around like 34 million shillings.
So around the same price that Noel.
Yeah, around there. It can even be like 25 or 30, I don't know, dollars. Well, the big issue and the big pressure is Tanzanians are different. They're very hospitality, and we got this sharing thing. So when my bro came first with his wife, they got certain background they come from. So they had to announce to the family. Then we had the 2 of us, like me and my other big bro, and the parents. We had to sit down and calculate like how much does the family has to contribute. Then the relatives, the friends. Then at the end, we have not to say to the public, well, I'm from the Chaga tribe from Kilimanjaro, so we have a lot of tradition. You have to go with a blanket. You have to go with the beers. You have to go with the bananas, because Kilimanjaro, we have bananas. So at the end of it, you find a lot of pressure they are getting. And after the wedding, for sure, my sister-in-law got sick. On her honeymoon, second day on her honeymoon, she got sick. A lot of money goes to the venues. Venues here are very costly. Then we go maybe to the MC. It will cost a lot. I see there's an MC here. He will be a very good example.
Okay, so let me ask the MC, because you've mentioned him. By the way, Mahsen is a very, very popular MC here in Tanzania. When he walked in, everybody... Oh, and he's... Was he expensive?
Yes.
Okay, so he's good and he's expensive, but it's all right. If you can afford him, you hire him. But I wanted to find out from you, have you seen the trends change over the years? Are weddings becoming bigger and bigger even when people are getting poorer and poorer?
Kila mmoja anavutia kwake. Mtu ambaye amefanya sherehe anasema ameumizwa, kuna mwingine anakuambia mimi siwezi kufanya sherehe ya chini, mwingine anasema mimi nitafanya ya juu. Lakini sisi kwetu MC tunafanya sherehe yote, iwe ya chini, iwe ya juu, inategemea unafanyia wapi. Hatuangalii hawa wako juu, hawa wako chini. Sisi tunaenda kufanya popote. Kwa hiyo sasa kosti ya sherehe inakuwa juu au iko chini, ni yeye maandalizi yake, anataka harusi yake au sherehe yake iwe ya namna gani. Unataka iwe ya kosti ndogo, unataka iwe ya kosti kubwa, nategemea na watu gani wako unawaalika. Unawaalika kina nani? Watu gani wanakuchangia? Kwa hiyo inategemea unafanyia wapi. Na kosti za miaka ya nyuma na sasa hivi, kila siku unavyozidi kwenda kosti zinafanyaje? Zinazidi kupanda, kwa sababu vitu navyo wenyewe vinapanda bei. Nguo ukija hapa kwa Ridia, bei ziko hivyo. Hawezi kuuza alivyouza mwaka jana, hawezi kuuza alivyouza mwaka juzi. Lazima kila siku kosti ziweze kupanda juu. Yes.
But even with the high costs, people are still getting married. Sio, ndio maana una kazi. So how many weddings on average are you emceeing in a month? Just so that we get an idea of the turnover.
Maybe 8. Yes.
One man, 8 weddings. Wow. So Alex and your soon-to-be wife, you're in the process of trying to prepare for a wedding. What are some of the difficulties that you're experiencing financially, or what is shocking?
Kwanza harusi ni gharama pia. Alafu cha pili ambacho naweza nikasema ni kwamba harusi ambazo zinatumia hela nyingi sio kigezo cha kwamba muendelezo baadaye ndoa nyingi zinavurugika. Hapana. Kwa sababu ukiangalia hata before nyuma ya wazee wetu, harusi za gharama zilikuwa, lakini ukiangalia mpaka sasa hivi wazazi wetu wanaishi, zilikuwa ni za gharama kwa sababu ilibidi wazee pia wanunue ng'ombe, wanunue mbuzi na watengeneze pombe, umeona? Sasa unakuta gharama lazima itumike.
Okay. I now want to come to you, Anastasia, because we're hearing from Alex that this is not new. Weddings have always been expensive. So what is the main difference between past generations and this one?
For sure, I should just say the previous generation didn't have a lot of globalization, so they didn't know a lot of things which are happening in other places. But this generation, my friend, with technology, so people wants to copy. Yeah, I saw a wedding of my friend was like this. Maybe she had a wedding planner, and I also want to have a wedding planner. But we forget that we come from different backgrounds, and we are in a country where there's big inequality, I should say. Yeah, the people who are having and the people who have nots are so big. Like we have over 26% of people living under the poverty line, and so many people are in the median. Yeah, which when you say like someone gets sick for 2 days, will fall in the poverty line. People are little copying because they see a lot on Instagram, on Facebook, so we have really connected.
So you're saying that people are looking for a sort of lifestyle or a picture that, for their weddings. Jessica, we're calling you the professional committee member attendee because part of these weddings are funded from contributions from friends. Can you explain how this works?
Well, I think high-cost weddings are not a problem if you can afford them. I mean, if you have enough money, you can organize even a wedding that costs 100 million. But once you have to go out and ask for help from your colleagues, from your family members, then it becomes a burden because then everybody has to go out of the way to look for like more money to.
But why does everyone have to go out of the way? Why don't you just say to your friend, I'm sorry, I don't have money?
Well, there's this thing in Africa, especially in Tanzania, like I cannot say no to your face. So even if I mean no, like deep down, but I'll just have to impress you. But still, at the end of the day, some people would still promise they'll contribute, let's say $300 and end up contributing even less. So then it becomes a struggle. People have to sit, crack their heads every now and then meet, take the budget down, adjust this and that. It's a problem.
Yeah. So let me introduce another gentleman here, Kenneth, because my question is, why get married at all then? Why have a wedding? Why not just have a customary relationship as happens in most African countries?
I think it's a kind of prestige because the wedding is once for a while. Once you marry until you die, okay? So once it passes by, it is gone. So we need to create that prestige so that after 10, 30 years, 20 years of anniversary, when you try to flash back your wedding, you at least have that moment that, yes, we did our level best, this is the wedding we wanted.
So for you, it actually forms a part of your legacy as a couple. Yes. And you were telling me earlier that you were actually in an engagement, but because of financial difficulties, you weren't able to go through with the wedding. Can you talk to me about that?
The one whom I chose before was not the proper one because, it was not the proper one because, back then it was just that teenager stage, okay? Then after finishing the college, the brain now is a bit sharp. So I need to find a new one whom can fit my philosophy, my lifestyle. Yes. That's why I a bit delayed to marry.
Okay, can somebody explain to me which one is more important? Is it the wedding or is it the marriage? Let me speak to Sebastian. By the way, Sebastian and Anastasia are a couple, and today is their anniversary. Yeah, thank you for choosing to spend it here debating. So in your 9 years of marriage, do you feel that, first of all, did you get pressure for the wedding? Is what we're hearing here reflective of what you experienced?
Absolutely. First of all, wedding is a product of the network you have and the income of the couple. If you take it out of that, it's a problem. So if you don't have enough network, don't expect to have a lot of support. And if you're copying from someone else that you want to make a lifestyle or a marriage of a particular style, then of course you have a trouble. And this is what has happened to many people across here. Normally, it's supposed to be you marry by your own cost. But if you cannot do that, you go to the nearby network and you ask, like, give me support. So if you go to your parent and say, hey, daddy and mommy, I want to marry and I don't have enough money, please prepare for me a wedding. Of course, they'll call their friends. And these friends, they'll contribute. They'll make 100 million wedding. And from there, they will start asking you to contribute back to their family. And this is the biggest problem that I call it liability to the family. Because after your wedding, you start receiving calls, come to this committee, come to this, pay this whatever contribution, because we did it for you. And some of these members, you don't even know them. Okay. But you cannot start doing contribution to somebody that you have never seen before. And they have so many kids coming. By the time you start demanding the same, it's not your network. Yeah. It was your daddy's network.
Okay, so far we have established that weddings are important for legacy, for cultural reasons, and also this thing you're saying, it's insurance. So Jessica, you're paying your insurance very well, which means you expect people to pay for, congratulations first of all, on your pregnancy. So when you have your baby, those people whose committees you attended, will they show up for your wedding? Do you expect that they will?
Well, first of all, I don't even remember like most of them now because, sometimes just a friend calls you and say, Jessica, can you be part of the committee? Maybe because you're like charming and stuff. So sometimes you don't even have a close relationship with the couple. So I don't expect them to even be part of my daughter's wedding or my baby shower or anything. So right after my wedding, I had received so many invitation cards to attend, so many wedding committees. And my mom would tell me, these people supported us. They were part of your wedding committees. And some of them, I don't even know them. So I just end up contributing just because they were a part of my committee. So it's time consuming, first of all, because then you have so many people from different places inviting you every Saturday for a committee that would take maybe 2 hours or 3 hours. And I feel like it's a burden. It's a burden to everybody who is invited to contribute. Okay.
I'd like to go back to Noel because I want to ask you, do you feel that you put your friends through a burden by asking them to contribute to your wedding?
Definitely no, because, according to our culture, we have tendency of helping each other. Once they contributed to you, also you are supposed to pay back, as one of my colleagues said. Maybe the burden is coming to my side because the process of marriage, it needs a lot of money. Don't forget about the culture of dowry. Here in Tanzania, price of going to pay back to the parents of the woman, the money is very big. They can tell you to give you 2 million. There are other things, including, blankets of the parents, kanga of the sisters and the aunts. Those needs money. So we are not supposed just to think about the burden to the friends. Also, you as the one who is going to marry, there is a big burden you are left with because of the culture and traditions we have in Tanzania.
Okay, so the wedding day is just the tip of the iceberg, but before that, there's dowry that needs to be paid. There are all these ceremonies that we talked about. Anastasia, let me come back to you. The simple answer for me would be, well, don't show up for your friends' contributions or contribute what you can. Have smaller weddings or maybe don't have weddings at all. I guess I'm trying to figure out why have weddings at all if you can't afford it and if it puts people in debt.
Yeah, it's indeed a challenge because if you won't show up to someone's wedding, people won't show up on yours. And if you won't invite people to contribute for you, they will like blame you. And if you just decide to do a customary thing, they will see you as someone who is not not social, not civilized. Yeah, but also madili. What would we say? Yeah, so like you are unethical. You're just living without getting married. Yeah, so that's a problem. But again, it's also the issue that your parents or your relatives would want to show off to their friends because they've been contributing to others. Yeah, and at the end of the day, even the contribution that comes, you won't even enjoy that money. Yeah, because they will come to eat their money. And if they've contributed 100,000 and they come, their food is not good, they will complain forever.
What do you mean? So they contribute and they expect the wedding to be at a certain level?
Yes, they contribute and they expect to eat, to drink. So if you want to put beer while they contributed about like $100, my friend, they will complain forever. So everywhere you're going, they will be showing off fingers. Huyu kwenye harusi yake, we didn't enjoy in his or her wedding. Yeah, so you like have to really impress them to eat their own money that they've contributed. So you are getting nothing out of that money, but at the end of the day, you are left with debts. Yeah, because you'll have to borrow. Sometimes people borrow dress. I've seen so many people borrowing dresses in the wedding dress shops like this one. You will have a very big burden, and sometimes you will fight in your marriage. You will have to fight. Yeah. So this is what is happening.
All right, I'd like to bring the man of the cloth because I saw you in the background earlier. Being a person who deals with a lot of married couples, are they then coming back to you after the wedding to say, "Ay, Pastor, pesa imeisha, we need help," or it's affecting their marriage?
Some actually do not go to honeymoon. They just go to friends in a village. And there I joke with my friends that they go to cry because they have spent a lot of money. Then they come back, they say, "Father, now I need to prepare money for maybe my first kids. How do I do my life? I would like to have a house."
Yeah. So let me invite the people to just answer a question for me. Do you know of couples or have you lost friends because you didn't contribute a certain amount of money? Oh, wow. Okay. Talk to me about that.
Well, I think the issues about wedding here in Africa, mostly in Tanzania, is that people are afraid to lose the cycle that they have. Like, if you don't contribute for me, then I won't contribute. I mean, if you won't contribute for me, that means I will never contribute for you. Yeah. So this is how it works. So as I can say, I've lost too many friends.
More than one?
Yeah, more than one. And I still have some debts on how to pay the wedding ceremonies.
Your own wedding?
No, not my wedding.
Oh, their
weddings. I have like 3 friends who are going to be getting married, one from November, one December, and another in February. But how I can see, I have an employment, I'm an entrepreneur, but I don't earn a lot that I can contribute. But also I need my friends to support me as an entrepreneur. So the problem is people are afraid to lose the cycle that they have. Okay. They think that if I won't contribute, then I'll lose them.
So it's very much a quid pro quo. Is it similar to your experience? You said you lost friends too.
Yeah, it is similar. And yeah, like youth in Tanzania are waking up right now. They do not want to have weddings that they cannot afford, but we have our parents. They will tell you that you must have this wedding because I contributed to 50 weddings and they have to contribute to your wedding as well. But in the end of the day, what we don't realize is we have people attending our wedding with a folded heart, that I'm coming, I contributed, I didn't want to do that. Sometimes I contribute, but I go there really, really angry. Like, why do I have to pay for your happiness and things of the same sort? Okay. So, yeah.
I like that question. Alex, let me come back to you because you're the one who's currently planning your wedding. Good luck, by the way, based on what everyone is saying. Are you feeling pressure from your parents to hold a specific kind of wedding?
Yeah, ni kweli lazima niwe na pressure kwa sababu jambo la harusi sio la kikawaida, kwa sababu linahitaji kwanza, lina changamoto kubwa sana, especially kama wenzangu walivyoongea. Kwanza ni kikubwa ni gharama zinaumiza sana, kama MC alivyosema kwamba kadri siku zinavyoenda ndivyo na vitu vinavyoendelea kupanda bei.
Okay. Anyone here who experienced pressure from their parents in terms of, okay?
I experienced a challenge this morning, before leaving for work, I got a phone call, and certain guy was calling me, and they said, "Hey Ben, listen, we need something like $50, something like 120,000 Tanzanian shillings." Then I said, "Who are you?" He said, "I'm your dad's friend. I came to your wedding." You see, that challenge, the pressure that they're putting on you, they contributed to your wedding, so you need to do something about it. So these challenges are there. Yeah.
Thank you. We've articulated the problems very well. I just want to find out, how do people end up paying for these debts? Golden.
Yes, the debts are endless.
Oh.
The debts are endless.
Yeah.
They're always endless. And payment could be, as others have explained, that if you pay, if you contribute to someone's wedding, you are committing them to contribute to yours. So from my perspective, a client might come, and if she comes or he comes with family friends or uncles and aunties, and they contribute personally there, you should know that you should expect that they're putting an expectation to them, and they show that I am committing to this so that it gets done, so that when my child or I get wed, you're supposed to commit the same, and they expect that.
Do we contribute as much to education, healthcare, or is it just exclusive? Oh, no.
This is very interesting topic, because the same people that they are putting pressure to the wedding. First of all, they want a specific wedding. They are not ready to hear from you or from anybody else anything that does not relate to the celebration. They want to contribute to the only things that they are sure they will gonna eat. They're gonna spend the money. They're gonna be into the committee to make sure that the money is finished.
People are nodding. Are you agreeing? Okay.
So when it comes to the important issue like school fees, somebody is sick, nobody is actually putting any pain to that.
Okay, so please, let me come to you.
Okay, thanks. First of all, we have to know that we all live in the community that deserves something from us. When it comes to marriage, it is a celebration. So you should not avoid it anymore, regardless how costful it is, regardless how much you have incurred to a wedding. We should not escape it. But also something we
regardless of whether it puts you in debt, you say?
We should not avoid any cost.
Yes, please.
Okay, talking about the cost, you can avoid it because it's not all the rich people make the marriage, even the poor people, they make the marriage. Mm-hmm. So the how you perceive or how you want your marriage to be or your wedding ceremony to be, it depends on the cost it will cost you. For example, taking the example of the village people, also they make the marriage and they have the wedding ceremony, but it's not they doing the wedding ceremony is high cost. No. Yeah. They prepare a simple budget, and they end up celebrating with happiness.
So you think people who are getting into debt are just being unreasonable?
Yeah.
Okay, now I want to find out how we stop this cycle. For somebody, the gentleman at the back there, oh, you have an answer already. Let's come to you.
All right, now, speaking about marriage and wedding, it's better to look on how people contribute. If you want people to contribute higher, it means that you get some burdens at the future. So if you want to trick it, for instance, maybe it's simple, you can actually do it. For instance, myself, I'm going to have a wedding. So I'm trying to make it simple, so as I don't want people to contribute, so as I can contribute myself. And then people will come, will eat, and then after that, they won't ask me for contributions.
Okay, so there is a hack. I don't know if you heard it from the back. He's saying he's going to have a small wedding, that way people will contribute less and he will be asked for less in the future. Golden?
Yes, what we suggest to clients, because it is our culture, weddings are important.
Debt is no one's culture though.
Yes, that's why we act wise with it. We inform our clients to choose wisely, to pick what they need and to sort and to compromise on the things that are unnecessary.
Okay.
Yeah, so what is best to go is look on your income, how much you have, prepare a simple wedding with your closest friend and your closest relatives, and you can do as affordable as your income. Yeah. So the problem is that somebody has to start contributing to somebody because he's expecting people to contribute, and he will keep waiting because he doesn't know if it's enough for him if he announces the wedding.
Yeah. Can I have two more, please, because we have to... Ooh, yes.
Okay, my name is Alan Rahim. So I believe a simple solution is not to give in to peer pressure, because basically in our cultures there's two types of weddings, either Christianity weddings or Muslim weddings, which most of the time won't cost more than $250. But if you decide to do things that involve the venues and other expensive costs, that's just you falling into peer pressure.
But then people like Marcin here might not have a job if everybody decides to do that. Where's the balance?
No, what I'm saying is if you can afford to do it, then that's okay. But if you can't afford to do it, you don't have to fall into peer pressure, because what you see everybody is doing is they're trying to compete. I want to have a better wedding than the last person. But you can see this couple, they've lasted for 9 years, but the wedding was very simple. Yeah. So you don't have to give in to peer pressure and get into expensive debts just because you can have a wedding that doesn't even give up the best experience you can have.
Okay, and the final question is going to go to the man who said weddings are on hold at the moment. After listening to this conversation, do you think you will have a wedding in the future?
Not in the near future, but in the future, yes.
Okay, and that's how we wrap up this debate. I think we can all agree that we've learned a lot. This was quite a bit of fun. Thank you so much for watching.